Here on Florida's Paradise Coast, you can't help but think, if only every beach was this beautiful. If only every adventure was this exciting. If only every dinner was this special. If only every sky was this dramatic. All of which proves one thing: when you want a vacation to deliver only the finest of everything, only Paradise will do. Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades, Florida's Paradise Coast.
Selection of these all-star teams was conducted by local coaches, scouts, or tryout. More than 20,000 athletes were considered, but few were selected. For these selected athletes, they represent the best of the best. Congratulations and good luck, athletes. Remember, cheer for your team, not against your opponent.
W2, you want to switch out this headset? Just gotta order a new cord for it. This is 2. Okay. This is 1. This is the 14. If this is 3. Put this back on there for now. Yeah, you want that? Yeah. Anthony, these yours?
No.
Let's welcome our captains to midfield. And let's give another big round of applause to the coaching staffs on both teams. We value their commitment and sacrifice to help teach and coach the student athletes participating in the FBU National Championship nationwide.
What's up with the toss here?
Now that all the players are on the field, let's give a large round of applause to ones that make this possible for you, the people in the stands, your parents, family, and friends. Let's give them a round of applause. Family and friends, thank you for your support of the FBU National Championship powered by KB3 Sports.
Bradenton wins the toss and defers. They're kicking off.
Bradenton has won the toss and elected to defer the second half.
Yeah.
They will be kicking off to Dallas as we get ready to start this championship game at the 6th grade division.
Yeah, we're going right into it.
Me too.
Let's
I'm
welcome
3.
your home team,
Yeah, you're 3.
Bradenton, to the sidelines. And let's welcome the visiting team, Dallas. Sports app is all-inclusive sports platform.
We welcome you to the Paradise Sports Coast Stadium in Naples, Florida for the 6th grade FBU National Championship on our FBU National Championship YouTube stream. Neil Sika with FBU Director of Football Development Anthony Williams here to have some fun. The 6th, 7th, and 8th grade championships are on tap. Anthony, great to be working with you again. And this 6th grade really kind of sets the path, doesn't it, for some player recognition. We had the FBU All-American Bowl last night, but the process now for these teams to win championships, individual players who come to the limelight, and we start with the 6th graders, Bradenton and Dallas here today.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. Neil, thanks for having me back. Excited for these two teams getting this far. It's been a long time since we started this tournament. Lots of talent on both teams, so this should be a really competitive game.
Bradenton won the toss there in purple. They deferred, and Dallas, which under the moniker of North Texas, won the very first 6th grade title back in 2013, will start with the football. Harley Smith, one of the team's stars, with a good return out to the 40. Those speckled black jerseys for Dallas. A lot to look up to for this program. Corey Harbart, the team director, has orchestrated some great groups of football, including the 8th graders that won the championship last year, falling to GFL. But the 6th graders are here, and they will start with Wiley Mahone, the quarterback, with a one-back set and spread. There was movement before that snap got away with the pass that was intended for Tyrone Roan. We're going to call encroachment on the defense. Fred Wass is our referee. So we play the 10-minute quarters. And these 6th graders, they were waiting around for a while too, Anthony. The final 10U division game, which was won in the Platinum Division by Maryland 7-6 in overtime, lasted almost 2 hours. And you can be antsy in a stage like this when you're playing for the championship for the first time.
Absolutely. Players already fired up, ready to get after it and defend the hold off here. It's going to be good to see if they calm down and just start executing their offense here for Dallas.
1st and 5. And speaking of execution, there was none because the ball wasn't snapped and half the defensive line had broken over. So a sloppy beginning. Mentioning Dallas's history, but in this current edition, they beat Kentucky in the quarterfinal 24-12. It's the second consecutive offside call on Bradenton. And Utah was the opponent for Dallas in the semifinals. They got by them 30-14. Really tough conditions on the weekend. It was windy, it was rainy. And they're going against a stout Bradenton defense, Gulf Coast elite team that has not allowed a point in their 2 games here. Well, the fundamentals have slipped away to start, and now we've got a false start. So 3 penalties to begin the game.
Yeah. Neil, really looking forward to this this Bradenton defense. Like you said, pitch a shutout on all their games. Haven't really had really close competition, so it'll be interesting to see if they can handle this Dallas offense with a lot of speed and athleticism.
Beat the 6th grade GFL team from Georgia 32-0 in the quarters, and then Maryland, which seems to be all over the final stages of championship week. Their 6th grade team fell 34-0 to the team in purple, which had some success at the 10U level last year. Into the flat for Roan goes the pass, and he'll get most of the penalty back up near midfield. So Roan, with 1 full play completed in the first 20 seconds of action, out to midfield.
And Neil, had this team out in Houston for their opening regional games, and you're going to see a lot of motion. For a 6th grade team, this Dallas offense is pretty complex. You'll see a lot of motion, a lot of different sets. So we'll see what they got going here for this very tough defense.
A stack offset eye in the shotgun with motion from Roan. Mahone throws it up. It's caught. Anthony Garcia is going to skate on in for the opening touchdown. So a lot of junk and then a jewel on a 50-yard touchdown pass. Mahone finds Garcia, the star receiver and running back, who will glide on in for, or rather that's Harley Smith, who glides on in for the opening touchdown.
Yeah, great throw. It's 50-50 ball. Took advantage of the height advantage he had by his receiver. Would have got it as high point, put a move on, got in the end zone to give Dallas the lead.
We'll check the replay. I thought it was Garcia at first look.
It was.
Okay, so I overcorrected myself. That. It is Harley Smith.
Harley Smith, you're right.
Harley Smith with the reception. Garcia had the 2-point conversion. So Smith is in, and it's 8-0 Dallas, and those are the first points allowed by Bradenton here in the tournament in their home state, trying to keep the 6th grade title with a team from the Gulf Coast. Southwest Florida won their very first championship in 6th grade last year when they beat Team Utah, and we'll see a lot of those former 6th graders from Team Utah in the 7th grade championship when they play Maryland. So very inauspicious beginning, but Dallas going through the air, and their big target Smith, who's been special on this run to the final, scoring from 50 yards out.
You know, Neil, you and I have been doing these games for a long time, and we noticed the 6th grade team usually sets a tone for 7th and 8th grade. And if you've had success in 6th grade, you're probably going to have success as they get older in the 7th and 8th.
Flag on the kickoff.
Penalty marker flies in.
Kickoff from the 40-yard line here in this Youth National Championship. The 6th grade edition started in 2013. 7th graders a year prior to that in 2012. And then in 2011, we had the very first 8th grade FBU National Championship, which was played and started in San Antonio, Texas, and then moved here to Naples in 2014. Connor Helms kicks it away. And Bradenton on the return. What a huge pop on Delano Hill II. They call him D2. And he was detonated on that return coming back up the field. He's a tough guy. But what a hit on the special teams coverage for Dallas.
Kid Delano Hill, tough kid, D2 as they call him, as you said. That kid's probably the smallest kid in this field, but probably got the biggest heart. He will not let that hit affect him going forward.
So now the team in purple, led by the quarterback Noah Giger, who is the son of the coach in head coach Twan Giger. And he will hand off to Tyson Dawson. There's a lot of elusive players on this Bradenton team. Mentioned that a lot of them played together in the 10U group when they started a couple of years ago. They've faced some adversity. They were in a game against San Antonio last season where they were down 22 points. Didn't win it all, but made a deep run all the way to the semifinals. And they haven't had a lot of practices with this group, assembled at the tail end of the year. So how will they respond to the first points they've allowed? They have an offside call. That's the third one of the game already. I've seen that a lot in the NFL, too, in recent weeks, both offensively and defensively. 2nd and 4.
Towards the end of the season, discipline kind of gets going by the wayside a little bit, but the kids got to focus on just watching the ball on defense here. Braden setting a 3-by-1 set. They're trying to set up something here on the short side or out to the wide side with their top receiver. Let's see if they go out there, try and take advantage of that one-on-one matchup.
Trips on the near side. Giger's throw down the slot. It's going to go over the head of Delano Hill II. He took the big hit on the kickoff. He's right back out there, and he was open. It was just overthrown.
Yep. One thing I can tell you about having this team, I have the Dallas team in the Houston region, and their defense pretty solid. Really good up front. Their defensive lineman, Jason Maxiel, really good play kid. Knows how to use his hands, very explosive. He'll have an impact in this game. And we got our first timeout.
With 7:54 remaining
Timeout on the field. Dallas.
here in the first quarter, and on the opening possession, the 50-yard touchdown pass to Harley Smith from Wiley Mahone. Neil Sika with Anthony Williams, longtime standout in the college and the pro game, and a longtime member of Football University, this family, the director of football development. And, well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but after that 2-game winning streak he went into last night, the FBU All-American Bowl on a high, but it was a great game, and Team Electric defeating Team Impact, and got to work with 60 of the nation's top freshmen in the class of 2027, and I know that's of the utmost importance to you when you're helping pick these rosters and bringing along the players in their first phase of real national notoriety.
Yeah, no, it's a great event. Love being involved with it. Good game last night. Great talent in the field. I'll be looking at this game, the next 2 games, looking for the future freshman All-American.
It's 3rd and 4. Dallas on top early. Robert Ramos has come into the backfield. He's number 22. And the snap is high. And Noah Gigger, the quarterback, has to fall on it. And that's a huge loss on 3rd down. So you go from 2nd and really manageable, missing an open receiver, and then the center quarterback exchange goes awry. So 4th down, and call it 15.
Some of the fans watching, Neil, may be wondering why call timeouts early in the game. Good thing about a good coaching staff, if they see a hole, they want to fix it right away so it doesn't come back and haunt them. So that's one of the reasons for the early timeout. Now we get into special teams, and Neil, as we know, a lot of teams don't really focus on special teams. They are a difference, especially in the championship games here. So we'll see what kind of special teams we have going on in this game.
The man who scored the touchdown, Smith, back to return the punt of Dalen Lucas. And that will rumble forward on a bounce favoring Dallas, and they'll have it in plus territory to start after it was picked up by Sean Malone for Dallas. So they'll come out with their second possession on offense, 3 minutes into this 6th grade championship, and leading at 8-0. 6th, 7th, and 8th grade on tap here for you on a sunny but cool day in Southwest Florida. The Paradise Coast Sports Complex operating in its 4th year, this stadium. It's always mesmerizing to me, too, Anthony, with the 6th grade tournament and how not only as the offenses have changed across college football, pro football, but these kids, how they've adapted. Normally it was the 3-yard cloud of dust mentality, and you're seeing these advanced spread offenses and guys who may not have hit their full growth spurts yet, but they're slinging it around the ballpark.
Yeah, people can say what they want about this Gen Z market, but these kids are very advanced. These football players at this level, with the amount of training and specialty coaches, that's why you're seeing the 6th grade level be so high. So really interested to see how Bradenton recovers after giving up their first touchdown of the tournament here. So let's see what they have here on defense. I expect them to kind of come back and get back to being that shutout type of defense they've been all during the tournament.
Well, apparently there was a flag on the punt that we did not detect. And it was on Bradenton, so Dallas choosing to accept and maybe flip the field even a little bit more. So Lucas standing at his 15, hits a grounder up the field. It is muffed for the moment by Smith, but he had the boundary working in his favor. And that's where Dallas will go back to offense. Essentially a net gain of about 4 yards when it was all said and done. 8-0. They got the touchdown to Smith, the run by Garcia. A lot of these kids from the South Lake, East Carroll area, outside of Dallas. The spread offense, Wiley Mahone, the quarterback. Going to give it up inside to Sir Parker Miller. And Sir, where will he have another? He takes it down to the 30-yard line. That was a gain of 14 yards. This is their star running back, who has taken no prisoners really when it's come to running through the tackles so far here in Naples this week.
Yeah, Sir Parker Miller on a nice counter play for Dallas. Just gets north and south. Good straight arm, picks up another first down for Dallas. Nice play.
On 1st and 10 from the 30. And the give goes inside. There's good pursuit in the middle to bring down Anthony Garcia.
Nice play in the backside there, Neil, by Neil Ramos. Came all the way from the other end to come down and keep that play from being a big play. It's good pursuit.
So loss of a yard. 2nd and 11. Miller motions out. So does Garcia. That throw from Wiley Mahone is caught. And out of bounds inside the 10, Kingston George. Well, they've gashed him in the run game and then hit through the air. Was there a marker down, though? An illegal shift, which will bring this back and wipe out a nice pitch and catch that went for 22 yards.
It's a nice play by Dallas. They'll run this again. They motion to trips and then went empty with the running back motion, but unfortunately the guy in motion wasn't completely set in the trips formation. You'll definitely see that play again. That was wide open. It's a routine play for Dallas.
Yeah, common mistake in that circumstance. Miller motioning out to the slot. Similar look with Garcia. Mahone hits the seam. It falls off the hands of Sir Parker Miller over the middle.
Sir Parker Miller.
So it will bring up 3rd down and long. 3rd and call it 16 for Dallas.
3rd down and long for Dallas's offense.
Already a penalty-filled first quarter. We saw 3 on the first 3 snaps of the game before the 50-yard touchdown pass. So Harley Smith. Sam Alexander motioning out. All kinds of time. And then that shallow cross with Mahone finding Harley Smith. Got most of the penalty back and then some.
Pass completed, number 5, Harley Smith.
Where he goes down around the 25-yard line. It's 4th and manageable, though.
You know, you can already see a difference when the 10U game, which we were just talking about. A lot of plays up the middle, very simple because they're 10. You get the 12U down, as we talked about the elevation of 6th grade play. We got motion. We're motioning to empty. We're having crossing routes. We got a back and swing. Really, really creative offense right now by Dallas.
And so far, their offensive front has had control of what they've wanted to do. Well, the hard count from Mahone, it's a good one. And he might have gotten Denoris Brown Jr. to come over early. He did. That's a crushing penalty to Bradenton. They had him in 4th and 6 and 3rd and 15, and all they needed to run was one snap. Now you like the early looks of Wiley Mahone. He's in control there in the backfield. And he hands it away with the run by Alexander. Not much, maybe a couple of yards. Pushed out on that near sideline. Xavier Council, the first to get over there to make the tackle for Bradenton.
For those of you wondering, hey, what these kids jumping off sides, why is it an automatic dead ball? We're playing NFS rules here as a part of the FBU tournament. So once he crossed the line of scrimmage, it's automatic dead ball, encroachment, same thing for the offense.
And our referee, Fred Wass, mentioned him. They're from the Greater Naples Officials Association. So we go inside 4 minutes here in the first quarter. Dallas looking to add to their lead. Wiley Mahone on the wheel route up top. Beautiful execution and a second touchdown. Dropped it in the bucket to Sam Alexander. 14-0 Dallas with the conversion coming.
Great play. We got a flag on the play. Give him too much credit till we figure out what this flag is for.
Well, Bradenton, they're all still walking toward the goal line. Was it roughing the passer? It looks to be the case. He is talking to the Dallas bench, Fred Wass, the referee. Mahone took that pop. Yep, roughing the passer, the call.
Penalty is going to be roughing the passer against Bradenton.
So the touchdown stands, and look at Mahone. And he has been spectacular so far through the air.
Really impressed with Mahone, letting that crossing route clear, waiting for the wheel route to come open, not panicking and throwing it too early. Great read. The kid is very well accomplished as a quarterback.
They go Wildcat. They go direct snap. Garcia walks into the end zone for the conversion. It's 16-0. A right cross and a left jab for Dallas coming out of the gate here in the first quarter. Bradenton hadn't been scored upon, and they're in a 16-point hole with 3:29 remaining here in the first quarter.
Dallas has come out with a very potent offense. Kind of got the Bradenton defense on their heels right now, and the kids are kind of shaking their heads like, man, we haven't given up 2 touchdowns probably all season. We've given up 2 in the first quarter. Once again, it'll be good to see how the coach can get them to calm down and get back to their fundamentals and their scheme on defense.
There looked to be a post-play foul there after the conversion on Bradenton. And you bring up a good point. You've coached kids for so long. These are 11, 12-year-old boys. How do they react to something like this when everything's seemingly been going your way all week and then boom, you find yourself where you've got a big deal of football adversity staring in front of you?
Yeah, this is when it goes on the coaches and some of the leaders, even though they're 6th grade, for guys to go, guys, hey, don't panic. We still got 3 quarters to play. Let's just find something positive to build on, and that's what I think Maryland's going to look for here on their next offensive series.
So they move this kick normally from the 40, and the kick is in plus territory for Dallas.
Great spot for an onside. Look for an onside here, Neil. They might try and get the ball back here.
That's a good line of thinking. They've already flexed their muscle. A little bit of a pooch. Delano Hill the second, his second return, and this one doesn't end with the thunder of the previous, but he is tackled down by Garcia. And from the 26, we'll see what Bradenton can cook up offensively. The Gulf Coast Elite, the way they refer to themselves. Been part of championship week at the 10U level the last 2 years. And that 10U division was added 3 years ago.
Really important series here for Braden. They're kind of on their heels. They don't need to score in the first play, but they need some success on offense right now to get a little bit of momentum back. So they need to move the chains here a little bit, kind of get back into their game plan before things get out of control.
They've got 5 wide receivers on this 1st and 10. Now the quarterback, Noah Gigger, is under duress, and he's going down. Kingston George was unblocked off the edge. And the quarterback for Bradenton, the coach's son, nowhere to run. That's a huge loss.
Got to be careful at every level. When you have an empty formation, you have to know where to slide your pass blocking. I think he may have forgot that, and he came in untouched, and that's a big-time 18-yard loss for them.
15-yard loss on the play is going to bring up 2nd
2nd and 25, all the way back at the 10. Line to gain the 35. They're going empty again. This is a fast-flowing offense, but that pass low in the flat. They haven't ruled it incomplete. Are they saying it's a lateral? And they're ruling it a touchdown on Harley Smith, scooping it up and scoring for his 2nd of the game. Unbelievable.
For those fans not knowing what just happened here, if the pass goes backwards and even if the receiver does not catch it, it's like a fumble. And let's look at the replay here, Neil. Definitely was a backwards pass. The running back didn't get on it. Big hit right there to prevent him. Scoop and score. So that will be a touchdown for Dallas.
It's complete disaster for Bradenton. This is a better look. And, yeah, that's back behind the line. It's close, but, of course, you don't have the benefit of video review here in the national championships. You can see the replay that we provide you, but the officials don't have it, so it's going to stand.
Garcia again. Oh, he got stopped this time.
Sir Parker Miller with Garcia laying the block. It's going to come up shy, but it's 22 points. Running clock at this level for the national championships is 24. And Dallas with some destruction with 2:15 remaining. And a pivotal play. They had already lost 15 yards. We're going to get another look with him standing right at the 5. Well, I don't know. Even from there, you could say it's maybe moving forward a bit and could have been ruled incomplete, so it's an unlucky break. This is a great job by our crew, by the way.
Yep.
Prep Spin providing you the coverage on this FBU National Championship. So Dallas may have caught a break, but nevertheless, Bradenton's been under a lot of duress and stress now, trailing by 22.
For you young players watching, that's why it's important. If you don't know, play to the whistle. Get on the ball, cover it, keep your team in the game. That's really a hard lesson to learn for Bradenton, but we're football players. We have to know, hey, until I hear a whistle, I got to be going full speed.
That's where Anthony Garcia really did make the play, because if Hill falls on it, even if it's incomplete, he's still got possession. There's a flag here on the return. In fact, a couple of them. Team in black speckled jerseys. It has been one-way traffic so far.
This is going to be a block in the back. Once again, you young players watching this, if you can see the back of that guy you're trying to block, if you see the back of his numbers, let him go. Kind of close, but they called it. Got to have that helmet across the front. They're really going to be backed up now, probably inside the 5-yard line.
So Jordan Shedlock returned it. It's already our 7th accepted penalty of this first quarter. With 2:09 remaining. Two touchdowns through the air for Wiley Mahone, and then the big defensive play. And for our benefit, being able to see the replay, not without a bit of little controversy, knowing that that was probably going forward and should have been incomplete, but it did not go that way. It was called a fumble and was called a scoop and score for Harley Smith. So running the ball and just trying to get something positive, 4 yards off tackle.
Yeah, I'll go back to what I said earlier. I think right now Bradenton's just focused on getting some positive yards and getting to the second quarter and making some adjustments right now, because they are literally on their heels right now, and they've got to be very careful not to go down 28-0 by the end of the first quarter.
Noah Gigger, the quarterback, with the I formation. He'll hands to Raytron Ragan. And Ragan running Ragan to the outside. 2 men to beat. The speed of Ragan goes all the way inside the 30 to the 28. What a run as he rips off 62 yards on the sprint, and Bradenton's back in business offensively. Looks
like they're running a little off tackle I, getting back to basics, just off tackle. Some good blocking, and he just runs daylight, shows his speed. Great job by Kingston George taking a good angle and running him down for the big man there. Saved them a touchdown.
Raytron Reagan. Gets to the 28-yard line. We'll come up about a minute remaining in the first quarter. And they'll stick with what's working, the I formation.
Yep.
And this time Dallas is ready for it. Don't fool us once, but not fool me twice. Surging through, Jordan Nickerson is one of the stud defensive linemen. There you see, number 62 was all over the play.
Yeah. He's a big man, but he can move. Once again, has great feet, great physicality. Took care of that play, snuffed it out right away.
Loss of 2. Could be the final snap here of the first quarter. And there's some confusion with the play call. With Hill and the quarterback, Noah Gigger, looking to the sideline. They'll call for motion. A little bit of a boot. And to the flat on the outside. It's complete to Robert Ramos. Nice little play that he'll take along that far sideline, and the horn sounds to complete the first quarter. All Dallas dominating to a tune of 22-0 after 10 minutes of action. It's the 6th grade FBU National Championship, the 11th edition for the 6th graders trying to hoist who's the best in youth football. The premier event, the FBU National Championship from Naples. Back after this on our FBU National Championship YouTube stream.
Make sure to follow us on Twitter at FBU_NC and on Instagram at National Championship. Football University would like to thank our valued sponsors. Football University is proud to use Wilson Footballs.
Florida's Paradise Coast is more than just the home of the FBU National Championships. We're also the home of endless natural beauty and wild adventures, the home of holes in one and one-of-a-kind dishes, the home of incredible comebacks, and just plain kicking back. So come discover a sports paradise, because only paradise will do. Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades, Florida's Paradise Coast.
Back here at the Paradise Coast Sports Complex Stadium. 3rd and 5 to begin the second quarter, and there's not a lot of room to run up the middle for Bradenton and the man they call D2, Delano Hill the second. Going to bring up 4th down and 4. 22-0 Dallas. Neil Sika and FBU's Director of Football Development, Anthony Williams, having some fun for Championship Tuesday. A tradition here in Naples going back to 2014. And the overall tournament, which started back in 2011 with the 8th graders, they'll play later tonight. We see Ohio and Maryland. Only the second time AW will have a team not represented by either the state of Georgia or Florida in the 8th grade championship. The last time was when Maryland won the title against Seattle in 2016.
Yeah, I was just talking with Steve and Eric Richards about that it's just strange not to have a GFL team or a Florida-based team in the championship, but I'm excited to see some new talent. That means the FBU brand is growing, because there's a lot of good players all across this country. So this is a great platform to show that they're as well represented as California, Texas, and Florida.
Now, Team Ohio, which were the 7th grade champions last year, they're coached by Ted Ginn Jr., almost a 2-decade career in the NFL. And stand out at The Ohio State University, his father, Ted Ginn Sr., coaching Cleveland Glenville to the tune of 2 consecutive state championships in Division IV in Ohio. He's Anthony Williams. I'm Neil Sika, and we're glad to have you aboard for the 6th grade FBU National Championship. And this is a big series here for Bradenton. A 4th and 4, big play coming here. With the quarterback, Noah Giger, making sure he's talking with his dad, Twan, who's the head coach. Make sure they have the right play. This is crucial. 5 wide receivers, and there's movement. Now, who went first? The slot receiver or the linebacker?
It's always the offense.
Yes, it is. And that is crucial. Just self-inflicted wounds. Delano Hill will move him back 5. It's 4th and 9.
And so far, Neil, we've seen some pretty good skill play by the Dallas side, but as you mentioned earlier, right now, Dallas's line is winning the line of scrimmage. I mean, their D-line and O-line doing a tremendous job.
Here's the quarterback, Giger. He's under duress. He goes down. Had no chance. Sir Parker Miller coming inside. Every time they've come empty, well, the end result has been just that. Nothing for Bradenton. And it goes over on downs, so a 62-yard run to really get him out of a straitjacket from Raytron Ragan goes awry. And Dallas has the football back in control by 3 scores.
Very disciplined pass rush by Dallas, knowing that this quarterback is very athletic. They had good outside pressure, stayed in their lanes, and they had pressure up the middle. And especially against empty, that was going to be a bad situation. They've got to get that fixed here. The O-line coach for Braden has got to get that fixed for his O-line.
Meanwhile, Wiley Mahone looks like a 10-year vet. Now, they've had some motion issues. We're going to have to delay a game there?
Problem is, when that fullback motion's out, he's got to get set, and he's still kind of moving. And I think that's what the officiating crew saw. So looks like Sir Parker, he's got to get there quick, get set for at least a second for the ball snap. Hopefully he'll fix that right here.
So that motion penalty, now they'll try it again. They move Miller to the slot. And one more time. What's going on here?
Yeah, left tackle just flinched, like had a muscle spasm, and they called it again.
Penalty marker down. It's going to be a false start against the offense. 5 yards.
Well, it has not been a work of art in terms of the disciplined execution. You often get some penalty-filled games. Dallas has turned in enough big plays to spot them this big lead. But they're going in the wrong direction. 1st and 20. Mahone trying to beat the blitz. Falls incomplete. He had the hot route right to Sir Parker Miller. He couldn't hold on.
Interesting adjustment by the Bradenton team. They've got their entire defensive line standing up against this powerful Dallas line, which I don't understand why, because when you're up, your pad level's high, and so I think he's expecting his defense to kind of be more lateral in their defense here. But interesting that they're all 4 in stand-up position.
Here's Mahone on the slant route. And it's caught. Alexander trying to tread through a couple of tacklers. He had the touchdown earlier on the wheel route. And he'll take it out to the 36-yard line. Still going to make it 3rd and 12. We're a minute into the second quarter. Formation, it's been the same for the majority of these plays. Mahone going to get out of the jam with the rush coming off the edges. He'll get out to the 42 where he's brought down by Ragan, the linebacker / running back who had the big play on offense for Bradenton. But both times they've faced 3rd and long, Anthony, they've got it into 4th and manageable. They got the penalty last time around, and the way their defense is playing, they can afford to maybe take an opportunity here.
Well, they're coming out in this pistol formation. I'm surprised here. I wouldn't be surprised if they ran the ball right here. I mean, they're owning the line of scrimmage. I wouldn't be surprised to see an off-tackle play here, try and pick up these 4.5 yards.
It is 4th down. They haven't changed that on the down marker on the field. And the pass over the middle is caught. It's complete to Kingston George, and he's down to the 38-yard line. On 4th and 5, they convert. They hit the big pass over the middle, and Dallas can do no wrong here in the opening half.
Great progression here as you saw the replay. You got the motion guy running the swing. You got the receiver running the post, and then that number 2 receiver coming down and running that slant inside. The middle is wide open. So great play call by Dallas.
They've got an embarrassment of riches at the skill positions, that's for sure. This is Garcia. Was bursting forward, but hit the hole, and Cameron Plummer said, "I'm ready for you." The big defensive tackle makes the stop for a minimal gain.
No gain on the play.
22-0 Dallas. They scored on the 4th play from scrimmage after the first 3 were penalty filled. A defensive touchdown. They've gotten 2 through the air.
New quarterback in.
Showing a little wildcat.
Yep, definitely some wildcat.
It's Garcia. He'll hand to Alexander, who finds a seam. Sam Alexander inside the 25, and a flag comes in late behind the play. There's some frustration and some shoving in there. Dalen Lucas, who's got that winged Wolverine helmet. This was after the run.
And we've got one at the line of scrimmage, which could be a holding. Then we've got one downfield. These may offset.
Yeah, we'd redo it. Yeah, 2 fouls on the play. We've got a hold.
Two penalties on the play.
And the subsequent penalty on Bradenton, so we'll
Penalty's going to be against Bradenton.
snap it once more from
Penalties will offset. We'll replay 2nd down.
what is the 40-yard line. 2nd and 10. It's going to be Garcia who keeps the snap, throws it up, got his man, Harley Smith. Touchdown number 3, and the second one on offense. Harley's full of tricks today, and Dallas will take it towards 30 points. A running clock is coming. They lead at 28-0.
Great call here. Great pass blocking by the line. Great throw. Throw the receiver open. Receiver got behind the DB for the touchdown.
Harley Smith, a 50-yard touchdown, a 40-yard touchdown. He had the scoop and score after the controversial pass down the line. They run Garcia out of Wildcat. There's been no stopping that play, really.
Extra point attempt is
Easy 2 yards. It's 30-0.
Dallas will go on top of Bradenton.
And now the clock is on the move. So Bradenton fighting both. And they have to wonder how this game has gotten away. Well, Dallas pretty darn good, and they've dominated up front, but also the mistakes too. And
Yeah.
the offense has been treading water ever since.
Yeah, Dallas showcasing their two-headed quarterback system. That was Anthony Garcia who made the great throw on that one, while their number 1 quarterback, Wiley Mahomes, was on the sideline. So obviously good depth there at a very key position, and that's why they've put up 30 points before halftime.
Well, I don't want to put the proverbial cart before the horse, Anthony, but we can go back, and I mentioned this earlier, in 2013, the 6th grade division started. You had Team North Texas, which has been adopted under the Dallas umbrella, but that 13 year, the 6th graders, they turned out to be pretty special because they were the first in the FBU's national championship history to win the linear title from going from 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And I'm not saying this team's going to do it, but they've got the parts and some of the personnel that you need to have that type of an effect for a 3-year run.
Yeah, well, I was talking to Corey earlier, and he talked about how the those sixth graders set the foundation, and so these kids know what they did back then.
Delano Hill, a good return. And then a couple of flags come in late. Hill got to the 44.
One of the things that the coaches have got to do now with 4:44 left for halftime is tell his kids, hey, they scored 30, we can score. We're a talented team. We've got some ability. We've got 2.5 more quarters to get this thing done. So they just got to find success here before they get into the locker room at halftime.
Illegal block, or helmet to helmet, is going to be on Bradenton, leading with the helmet.
Really important for Braden to get on the scoreboard here before the end of the half. Get some momentum going in.
Well, they're getting the benefit. The clock should be running.
There it goes.
Timeouts and injuries the only way to stop it unless you get it back under 24 points. Good shoestring tackle. The ball came free late. And the stop made by Robert Tevy after a knifing run by Tyson Dawson.
You made a good point earlier, Neil. I mean, right now, Braden, they're kind of fighting against a very good team in themselves. You know, fumbles and penalties. They've got to clean that up to even have a chance to come back in the second half.
And you can see even the frustration of another call going against Bradenton.
That one's an interesting one. So literally the center went up to the ball, and centers do this. They kind of roll the ball over to their favorite hand. They're almost like pitchers in baseball, and the center has to know that when I get to the ball, I can't move it. You know, I can't move the threads to my right side, my right hand or left hand, and that's what happened there. So it was too obvious of a move, and the referee had to call it.
This is what Bradenton's been doing to teams down here in Naples, not allowing any points. Well, Dawson slips, and his teammate falls on top of the would-be tackler. Got a face mask on Dallas's defense. So it'll be a first down. That'll be a personal foul.
15-yard penalty, and that's going to be enough.
Good chance for Braden to take advantage of this penalty and get in scoring position here with 3 minutes left in the half.
Sloppy game to say the least. Lots of penalties, double figures in that category. But when the football's been clean, it's been Dallas dusting off Bradenton to the tune of a 30-0 advantage. Noah Gigger, he's just going to fall down. He doesn't even want to take the hit because they're coming so fast and furious. Tevy was on the surge through the middle, the linebacker wearing number 40.
Yeah, Braden has not figured out that when they go empty, Dallas is going to bring pressure, and he didn't have time to set his feet there. They might want to think about bringing one of the running backs in to give them time to throw the ball because he just doesn't have time in that empty formation.
Clock moving, the running clock in effect. After the 24-point advantage. 3 touchdowns in the half from Harley Smith. It's 2nd and 20. It's up for grabs. It's incomplete. Oh, and the late flag comes in. And Isaiah Joe Foster was in coverage. Tyrese Royal may get the benefit there.
Little game within the game here. So now I see what's going on. When Braden goes empty, They've only got their 5 offensive linemen to block, Neil, and they're bringing 6. So one guy's coming unblocked. So I think that's something that Dallas has picked up on.
The 15-yard penalty, everyone on Bradenton was acting like that was the NFL on a spot foul. Not quite. And a timeout is called here with 1:16 remaining because that's the only way under the running clock situation that Bradenton can stop it. 30-0. Well, we've already hinted at what's ahead for the 8th grade game. 7th grade, which is next, will feature Maryland. And a group that won the very first 7th grade, or that program won the very first 7th grade national championship. That was back in 2012. A young man named DeJuan Ellis, the dual threat quarterback. He was special. He led Maryland to the championship over Northwest Louisiana. So they will be back in the mix, playing for that 7th grade crown against Utah, whose 6th graders lost to Southwest Florida last year. And that Polynesian Tongan influence is back and better than ever. They've looked good and won some close games. That's our matchup in the 7th grade tilt coming up next.
Yeah, that Utah team is very well coached and will have a lot of very sound in the fundamentals, have a good game plan. But the Maryland organization has really come a long way in these last 5-6 years in the tournament.
Coached by Tyreek Bird, who's the son of Terrence Bird, who was a part of the foundation at the beginning. He's the 8th grade coach. Wormy little run for Delano Hill the second. It was 2nd and 5, and
Penalty marker down.
there's a penalty here.
I love watching Delano Hill run. You can tell that kid, 1, he's fearless, and 2, he can stop on a dime and give you change as he's breaking another way. He's one to keep an eye on here over the next couple years in this tournament for sure.
Personal foul, contact to the head. So 2 penalties here have moved it forward for Bradenton. And the clock runs. So they're racing against it.
If they're in that empty formation again, keep an eye on the Dallas defense. Count how many guys you see blitzing here. You're probably going to see at least 6.
This time with 4 wide receivers. It's taking a long time to get this snap off, and the hard count. They move forward.
Penalty marker flies in.
Kind of a fitting way that's half coming to a close.
They're not going to get another playoff. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, they've got to call a timeout.
Right.
Almost smart in that sense by Dallas to take the penalty because it takes a few seconds to get reset. So the second timeout for Bradenton, and they'll have 1 heave-ho or play with 2 seconds remaining and a 1st and 5.
Look for Braden to come out and empty set again, 3x2. Probably run all verts, and look for Dallas's defense to probably be in probably a 2-deep man, but still bringing pressure. They need to get the ball in the end zone here. Maybe get a pass interference, maybe get a Hail Mary catch here, but they've got to do something here in these last 2 seconds to get some momentum.
They will get the football to start the 3rd quarter. They won the toss and deferred.
So they are in empty, and Dallas is in a 2-deep. Can't tell if it's man. Looks like it's going to be a combination cover 6, half the field in zone, backside in man.
Finally got the alignment set with the 4 receivers in shotgun. And Noah Giger on the rollout. And a lob it up. That's going to fall incomplete. Receiver fell down. He thought he might have been clipped a bit, Tyrese Royal, but to no avail. We hit halftime, and Dallas is making a statement. They're 6th graders trying to accomplish what the Dallas group from 11 years ago did in the first 6th grade ever FBU National Championship. Take home the title. And they've got 20 minutes from stepping on that pedestal. Dallas 30, Bradenton nothing. Your score here at the half of the 6th grade FBU National Championship.
The KB3 Sports app is all-inclusive sports platform designed to connect athletes, coaches, and recruiters by providing verified data that can be filtered, sorted, and ranked by position, sports, or region. Get started today by creating your official KB3 Sports profile and have access to the world's only profile app. And your stats in real time. Visit kbsports.com to learn more and get started today. Football University National Championship participants. When we all play, we all win. Gatorade is committed to giving millions their chance to get in the game. Together, we can fuel tomorrow. For the athletes who give everything, nothing beats Gatorade. Football University is proud to use Wilson footballs. For athletes to perform their best, they require the best. For over 100 years, that's what Wilson has delivered. Not only is Wilson used on more high school football fields than any other brand, but it is also the official ball of the NFL and the NCAA. Learn more at wilson.com. During today's game, take a time out and download the official FBU app. Visit your app store and search FBU. The FBU app includes special offers, 2024 regional camp information, and more. Also, to get real-time coverage on the 2023 FBU National Championship powered by KB3 Sports, make sure to follow us on Twitter at FBU_NC and on Instagram at National Championship.
Are you out of oatmeal cream pies? Are they all gone? Oh, okay. No, no worries. There was there might be one left. There is. You can have it. Cream pie. You see the box over there? The box was sitting here. You just went home. That was the last one, I think. Oh, they must have done. It's all over. Do we have one of those? Want to get you some more? No, sorry. It's okay. So flies are growing in the store and grab some. No, we'll get buddy. I watched some of that game last night. Y'all sounded really good.
Florida's Paradise Coast is more than just the home of the FBU National Championships. We're also the home of endless natural beauty and wild adventures, the home of holes in one and one-of-a-kind dishes, the home of incredible comebacks, and just plain kicking back. So come discover a sports paradise, because only paradise will do. Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades, Florida's Paradise Coast.
Honestly, if we had the power, we would just mic Anthony and Rod, and I could communicate with both of them during the game. Yeah, because in the first quarter, Joe's reacting like he's watching the Giants on TV at home. Like, oh my gosh. Like, yeah, while the play's going on, I'm like, Joe, you got one job. When I'm talking, zip it.
That's it.
When the Play's over. That's your time to shine. It's broadcast 101. Jump on the replay.
Sure, that's funny.
Well, then, you know, you got to interview the Collier County commissioners and everything. Normally they would have braced me for that, but I should have known it was coming. But we're like 3 plays in. I'm kind of just getting in and setting it up. And Steve comes in. He's got this piece of paper. And he's like, "You want to play Stanford Cal and bring the band on the field after on the 4th day of the game?" Let's just settle in. And it all worked out. So yeah, basically from behind the scenes there was about 7 small fires to put out. That's all right. I got some disappointing news for you.
She must have forgot her phone.
I mean, this Bradenton team looks like a 10U team just in terms of their size.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Made the biggest difference.
That number, that
Oh,
number 4 on
absolutely.
the
Yeah,
other
100%.
team.
Yeah.
That number 4 on the other team. He is rough, and he's intimidating.
Yeah.
Like, that quarterback did not want to get hit by
Nope.
him.
No.
Nope.
Big and fast, just everywhere. Because they look up when they see him.
Anything you mentioned of the Rangers position still missing?
Yes.
Pretty nice.
Outstanding, yeah. And the great thing about it, you name your own food. You want to bring in Whataburger or your own barbecue? I love that about that stadium.
They let you bring it in?
You can bring your own food. I mean,
Kidding.
people come in with coolers and just, I love that.
Oh my
There's
God.
no other stadium I've ever seen do that.
Yeah, because they usually try to rob you.
Yeah. Charge you for a $12 Coke and
Yeah, because they know
$30
you're
for
hungry.
fries.
You can't
Yeah.
go nowhere.
How do they say? How would they conceivably say they don't make money on concessions then, or what?
Also, just giving that up. Every time we've been there, we've never, I mean, I don't do it, but you see other people coming in with their own stuff.
When I went to a Rangers game, the ticket prices were more than the average ballpark, so maybe that's what they're doing is they like to charge out
Well, now they can
tickets.
charge what they want since they won the World Series. Take that boost. They don't go back to 3 minutes on the clock, do they? They're going right into the half.
Running clock, yeah.
Yeah. No. I meant like on the in high school sometimes like you come out and then you get like it resets to 3 minutes, or they do that in Ohio where they reset to 3 minutes for the
No.
final warm up. Okay. Yeah. Or the timing of it's been pretty good, right? Your 1 yard line idea, Eric goes. I was thinking about that. William, you ready? Back for the start of the second half here at the Paradise Coast Stadium in Naples, Florida. Neil Sika FBU Director of Football Development, Anthony Williams. The second half kickoff with Dallas in this sixth grade championship, leading Bradenton 30-0. And the kickoff, which Bradenton receives, they deferred off the toss, rolled all the way into the end zone. Tyrese Royal was trying to track it down. And their coaching staff saying we need to play together as a team. There's been a lot of individual direction in that first half, but there were also a lot of penalties and mistakes that they had made that put them in this situation, Anthony. So you can't get it all back in one fell swoop. You're already facing a running clock. You need something positive, and that starts with a simple play, maybe a first down to get your drive going here.
Well, even before that, Neil, it starts with body language. Right now, you got the Bradenton kids just kind of walking around. There's no real urgency. I know they need to have some success here, but it starts with how you play, how you line up.
The quarterback, Noah Giger, hands off. Not much in the middle for Ragan. Ragan had the best offensive play for Bradenton. It was a 62-yard run down around this end of the field, and he gave him some opportunity in Dallas territory, but then they went in the wrong direction. That defensive front has just been dominant, including the linebacking core. You've got 3 touchdowns today from Harley Smith, who wears number 5. Noah Garcia, Sir Parker Miller. They've had their way. They're having their way to start this third quarter. Just swarming to the football, and who could forget Kingston George and the way he's been playing off the edge defensively. Ragan down once more for no gain. Loss of 2, and it's 3rd and 12.
Yeah, right now Dallas's defensive line is living in the backfield for Bradenton right now. Linemen standing around, performing what we call lookout blocks. When you turn around to your running back and say, hey, look out. They need to start moving their feet and get in front of people right now. But right now, the body language is bad. The coach's got to get that change here if they're going to have success.
Isaiah Joe Foster. That throw to the flat is complete. And not a lot of room to run. The catch made by Danilo Bryant. Dalen Lucas was the one in the backfield. Isaiah Joe Foster, a member of Dallas. It is 4th down and 8. So a gain of 5. Already in a running clock situation. That's with any 24-point lead here in the FBU National Championships. Football University, great bowl week. FBU All-American Bowl. The 13th edition last night, showcasing 60 of the nation's top freshmen who just completed their first season, many playing varsity, many with college offers. Got a timeout here from Bradenton, their first of the second half.
Yeah, you mentioned last night's game, Neil. Really proud of the kids we selected for the game, between myself and Eric and all of our scouts across the country and our committee and the nomination database. There's a lot of really good talent. Hard-fought, competitive, physical game. Kids really got a chance to meld. One of the messages I tell the kids is come out here and network. Take your earbuds out and meet somebody who may help you in your recruiting. A lot of kids did that, and they bonded. What we've seen each year, these kids kind of become a fraternity, and they kind of help each other out in the whole process. So that's one of the things I love about that freshman game.
I'm glad you mentioned that. He's Anthony Williams. I'm Neil Sika. It is 30-0 right now in favor of Dallas, but to the game last night, and what's great about the kids, they make friends, too, for life. They're going to be in this class of 2027. They're going to be compared to each other for the next 3-4 years. But you can see the team bonding, which they do in a short time, is also impressive in 2 and 3 days.
Yep.
So right now, out of that timeout, Bradenton will give the look of punting. And there is Isaiah Joe Foster. And they fake it. Running through the middle, and success. Well executed up the gut. That's Dalen Lucas, who was the punter, faking like he was going to receive it. And Ramos runs right through the middle for a first down.
Yeah, nice play. Good play to get some momentum for Bradenton here. A little direct snap to the up guy. Runs it up the middle, gets up the 7 yards needed. Now they got a little momentum going. They just got to build on it.
So they keep the football, but we're already 4 minutes into the third quarter.
Like to see a little more urgency from this team, Neil. Still a lot of walking around, a lot of running to the sideline. They just don't have the time if they're really trying to get a comeback here going.
Timeouts or injuries, the only way they can stop it. Ramos runs for -1 in the middle on the handoff. Now everyone on that Dallas defensive interior, including that guy, Kingston George, they are ball hawks. They've been around it. Sean Malone, Jordan Nickerson, who's right in the middle of your screen. They've all been in for tackles for loss today. The fake to Ramos. Gigger fumbles. And it's picked up. Returning it the other way, Sean Malone. He's brought down inside the 5. Dallas was looking for its second defensive score.
Dallas' team speed here showing off here. I love the call. Zone read, he keeps it, tries to attack the outside, but the Dallas defense ran it down, caused the fumble, and almost got a scoop and score, but they'll have the ball down at the 5-yard line.
And how about Malone? He was the one with the strip. He fell down, got back up, and had the fortuitous bounce to carry it down to the 5.
Things happen when you go full speed.
There were 2 flags behind the play. A personal foul on Bradenton and one on Dallas. They offset. And that was a post-foul play. Or was it? Will they redo the do the snap?
Looks like it's coming back.
But the personal fouls
After.
would have been after, so
Yeah.
that should have been the completion of the play.
They're giving an explanation over to the coaching staff. They're wondering the same thing.
Necessarily understand this. Unless they just determine that it's during the actual play, so then they can redo things. Well, on the run, it's Ramos. And Ramos, on what was 3rd down and 10, will creep for about 2. Fake punt, allowing Bradenton to extend this drive, but they've been all out of sorts all game long. Trailed after 4 snaps after a 50-yard touchdown pass, 30-0.
Looked like they had something going on that play, Neil, but I'm telling you what, Sir Parker Miller comes all the way from the backside to make that play. Bradenton team's got good speed, but Parker showed a lot of great speed coming from the backside. Oh, boy.
And that snap is over the head and picked up. And now Sir Parker Miller is heading in for the touchdown.
Just another great play by Sir Parker Miller. After that last play coming from the backside, picks up the bag snap, runs into the end zone, and got some heated exchanges on the sidelines here. So it looked like there's going to be a flag on the sidelines. Unfortunately, Bradenton kind of still shooting themselves in the foot with the bad snap, and Dallas taking advantage. And it's not looking real good right now for them with 1:39 left in the quarter.
So that bad snap will put Dallas in business. They've got 6 more on the board.
While we're waiting for the call, just want to promote once again, we're going to have 30 FBU camps across the country coming up this spring, starting in March. If you are a young football player or you're the parent of a football player that really wants to understand the game within the game, improve their technique, have a great experience, and get them ready for tournaments like this, go to footballuniversity.org, go to the camp schedule, find one that's close to you, and I look forward to seeing you guys out there. If you really want to understand how to play the game, we believe in saying hard work plus talent is the main thing in being a good player. Footballuniversity.org to check out the camp schedule.
And you've got the camps all across the country, and of course Top Gun, the best of the campers, are featured right here down in Naples, correct?
Yeah, it'll be here on June 30th. It seems to be getting earlier this year, so we'll be out here June 30th. And Top Gun is our culmination of all the top players from all 30 camps across the country to come in and have these kids go against each other in their grad class. So it's a great way for your son who's playing to understand where do they sit in their grad class of 28, 29, 30, and 31.
Well, they've been running this clock the entire time while they've tried to sort this out. I don't know if they'd actually put more time on the clock, but this was a post-play scenario that had developed. But I think they will just say that the quarter is going to expire. And Dallas on the doorstep looking for the conversion. And they'll walk it down to the other end. 36-0. And it's Dallas in full control over Bradenton here in the 6th grade FBU National Championship.
It's tough for these kids from Bradenton. You know, every football player, any athlete, any sport, you've been on both sides of a lopsided game. You've been on the winning side, you've been on the losing side. How you handle yourself is what defines you as a player. And so hopefully, we'll get a chance to have these kids learn that lesson. Bradenton's been good all year, been dominating the competition. Today wasn't their day. They're going to fight hard this last quarter here, but they've got to understand that this is part of the game. Even Tom Brady, even a guy I played with, Joe Montana, lost the game. They won a lot of games, but they've lost game. Nobody goes undefeated in football. You learn more from when you lose than when you win. That's why we always talk about winning and learning is a big part of understanding football.
Fred Wass has gotten a workout today, and they sort that out with some unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. So a two-point conversion try here to begin the fourth quarter after that high snap led to a touchdown. And this is Isaiah Joe Foster. I had misidentified him a couple of times on the Bradenton roster with Dalen Lucas, so apologize for that. But there's the conversion from Foster. 38-0 is the count. And so Dallas has been quite prominent on this national championship stage, Anthony, and you know very well, being from deep down in the heart, but more importantly, they're 8th graders. When they beat and won the title over GFL, it was not something that's accomplished all that often. That was a big mountain to climb at that stage and that level. When they won last year, GFL, their last loss was to that North Texas Dallas team in 2015. So young kids like that, they see that they're already within the fabric of the program. And now the 6th graders have put on a show here in their first championship appearance.
It's true, Neil. And also, one thing interesting about this Dallas team is they've been in close games. I mean, they haven't been blowing everybody out. So I think it better prepared them for this game than the team coming in that really had been dominant.
On the pooch kick, and Courtney Gilliard the second. We'll head down the field. Good field position.
Best all day for Bradenton. Hopefully they can convert this into points here and try and build something positive out of a very unfortunate day for them so far.
Eight minutes remain in this sixth grade championship.
Bradenton will start with the ball from Dallas's 30-yard line, first and 10.
So Noah Gigger, the quarterback, has Tyson Dawson with him back there. And we're going to get a Dallas timeout. Well, always coaching, right? Even with a 38-point lead.
I mean, maybe they had some personal issues there, but that you definitely want the clock running here.
After Dallas just finishing the game as cleanly as possible.
Well, I don't know if you caught the Texas High School State Championships were just this past weekend, and both Duncanville and DeSoto won the 6A titles there, and some of these kids will probably feed into that program. But two great high school programs in Texas ranked nationally in the top 5. One was a close game, and the other one was a blowout. DeSoto beat Summer Creek 74-14.
Jeez.
State champion. DeSoto is loaded. A good friend of mine, Claude Mathis, head coach, will be coaching in the All-American game in NBC in San Antonio. So looking forward to that.
And that's played at those games are played at the Star, are they not? Or no, they're actually played at Jerry's World for the title.
No, we'll be in the Alamo Dome. Yeah, down in San Antonio. Oh, the high school ones,
Yeah, the
yes.
high school games, yes. Down in San Antonio,
Yeah.
of course, the longtime home of the All-American Bowl. The pass is intercepted and taken back to the 46. Well, a frustrating tackle from Dalen Lucas.
Number 25, Tavion.
But the interception from Tavion Wyndham.
Out of bounds to the near side.
Second turnover. And with 6.5 remaining out of that timeout, I guess it was a good timeout. They had the alignment they wanted at the end.
Looks that way.
38-0.
The good thing, Neil, is that these kids from Bradenton, it's a tough day as we talked about, but they can still learn from this as they get ready to move into 7th grade. You know, how to deal with adversity, you know, let's be a little bit more clean on offense and defense, you know, things like that as they go forward. I doubt you'll see this team have this kind of game next year based on this experience.
Sir Parker Miller into the slot. The ball never came off the snap.
Penalty marker down. It's going to be a false start against Dallas. 5-yard penalty.
So we'll take that back 5 yards. We were and have been commenting on the FBU All-American Bowl all through this 6th grade affair. And at halftime, the FBU Middle School Player of the Year was awarded. And we're going to see one of the nominees in the 8th grade game a little bit later on. Amir Lemons, a rising receiver, one of the top prospects down the road. Playing for Team Ohio. That's tossed up and up for grabs, and it's going to be picked off. Nice interception on the play by Danilo Bryant, who comes away with it. And so the teams exchange turnovers. And now Dallas calls a timeout, which is their second. 5:04 remains.
You know, Neil, keeping it 100, and I actually did talk to Corey and the team about this. They're up 38-0. It's 5 minutes left. We're on the running clock. Run the ball and enjoy the championship. I mean, she really shouldn't be throwing the ball there. And got his quarterback hit, and now there is a late hit in the call. But I mean, you know, you got to look at the situation here. This game is obviously over. You don't want to embarrass the other team. One of the things I always preach to the kids at our camps and at the freshman game and all the events we do: if you respect the game will respect you back. And there's no time to try and embarrass and run up the score here. Just run the ball, get to the end of the game, shake hands, and move on.
Now, was that flag given because of the hit, or was the member of the staff on the field when he shouldn't have been? Yeah, that's, I think, what happened. The unsportsmanlike going against Dallas. And maybe they did miss the late hit, but you're up 38-0. I mean, your team's in control. Why are you even bothering to be out there?
Absolutely.
So definitely a colorful affair here in the second half. It's gotten a little out of hand. Dallas is going to burn their final timeout with 4:48 remaining.
Well, I talked about it earlier, Neil. So any of you 8th graders, you class of 28s, the Freshman All-American Bowl, as you heard Neil mention, was last night. We had a great time. I'm already looking for the top players in class of 28. So obviously at the 8th grade championship coming up, and we got our camp season coming up. I will tell you right now, the best way to get on my radar screen and Eric Richards is to be at a camp and be at one of these events, and we'll be looking for the top 60 players in class of 28 here pretty soon.
Yeah, prove yourself in person, right? There's no
Absolutely.
better way to do so. New cornerback is Caden Antonopoulos. And he is thrown down with the sack at the 40-yard line. Sir Parker Miller is going to pick up a personal foul maybe for the excessive toss. Well, if we get 2 consecutive plays without a flag here in this final 4 minutes, that'll be something.
Really unfortunate the game is kind of ending this way with a bad taste. I know it has been real clean. You and I have talked about the penalties and the fumbles and everything else, but you still have 2 great teams here competing, and they definitely need to end on a high note.
All types of personnel problems after the 15-yard penalty, but Antonopoulos is going to get snuffed out. It's going to be picked up by Lucas after the high snap. He's going to manage to lose a couple of yards. And there's a decorum, there's a high code of conduct to represent yourself like these teams have been doing all week long, whether they are in their respective hotels or in and around the functions and events, because it really is special for these kids to be a part of something like this and to ultimately have the moment, at least from Bradenton's perspective, fall short. You hate to see the mischief that comes with how this game is playing out in the end. 38-0 Dallas.
Penalty is going to be against Dallas.
To your point, Neil, regardless of the outcome, these kids need to understand you represent your name, you represent your family, you represent your city, your state, your region, and you don't want to embarrass that based on what the score is. And so that really is the definition of integrity. And so that's something these kids are going to learn at a young age, because you won't be acting like this when you get to high school and expect to get recruited and go into the next level.
Now for Bradenton, it was the turn of script where they had outscored GFL and Maryland 66-0 through 2 games, and probably a little bit shell-shocked that they don't have a point on the board. They fell behind 8-0 after 4 plays. It's been penalty-filled from the get-go. There's been personal fouls, a coach dismissal. That's an incomplete pass from Antonopoulos.
Pass on the far side.
We're going to come up on 2 minutes remaining, and there will be a crowning of the Metroplex once more. Bradenton was hoping to help Southwest Florida in the Gulf Coast area retain the 6th grade title. Southwest Florida, different program, won it last year. The substitution was given in time. That's up for grabs. It's juggled and incomplete. And Antonopoulos put it in the right spot, but Reagan couldn't hold it. And we're coming up on the last 90 seconds. 3rd down and 10.
Pretty good play by the cornerback, Amir Liggins. Didn't give up on the play, was beat early, but once again, young players, when the ball's in the air, that's when you can recover, and got a little strip there. So good job by the corner there for Dallas.
Antonopoulos. He's got Dawson with him in the backfield. A little posterity, Bradenton hoping for it. Dawson, no shot. I mean, the closing speed, Sir Parker Miller, or whether it's been Kingston George. You mentioned 6 rushing against 5, and it feels for the majority of the day someone's been in the backfield or lining up with the team in purple from the get-go.
Well, it once again shows really good coaching by the Dallas. Sir Parker Miller, they're watching the guys. I'm attacking unless somebody crosses my face, and if he does, I'm going to go get him in the flats, and that's what happened right there. So really good recognition from a football perspective by Dallas's defense.
4th down, final 30 seconds, and that's thrown up for grabs and falls incomplete. That's great defense on the edge on the toss-up. They were looking for Danilo Bryant.
Nice play by Wiley Barstow, who's playing that corner there. Went up, little small guy, went up there and got vertical, knocked that ball, almost had him a pick there. It looks like that'll be the last play of the game.
Dallas will do it. For the first time at the 6th grade level in 11 years, they won the inaugural. They win the most recent, 38-0. And complete destruction of Bradenton here in the 6th grade FBU national title. They led 30-0 at the half. They added a defensive score to bolster the lead in the second stanza. They didn't need much more. They had a running clock on their side. They had full control, and they were all systems go. Very impressive on both sides of the ball in their 38-0 win here in the 6th grade title tilt.
Absolutely. 2 good teams. This happens at every level. Youth, high school, college, and pro. We saw it last year when TCU was against Georgia. TCU was a good team, and they got annihilated by Georgia in the title game. And so Bradenton should have nothing to hang their hats on. They had a great season. They had a great run in the tournament. This will make them better next year as 7th graders. And congratulations to Corey Harbord and the Dallas team for winning the 6th grade championship and laying the foundation for the next kids behind them. So 2 good teams that we'll see probably here in the future at next year's FBU Youth Championship.
An ascending path for the class of 2030. Hard to believe I'm saying that, but this 6th grade group from Dallas is on course now to maybe do something special in the subsequent years down the road in the 7th and 8th grade. 38-0, they win the title over Bradenton, the Gulf Coast Elite. We'll be back shortly here on our FBU National Championship stream from the Paradise Complex, Paradise Coast Sports Complex in Naples with the 7th grade championship. It's Utah and Maryland, but we thank you for watching the 6th grade championship for Anthony Williams and Neil Sika and our great crew for the moment. We'll be back shortly for our 7th grade kickoff. Dallas wins it in the 6th grade title game, 38-0 over Bradenton. Back shortly, and so long for now. That might have been